There's a moment that happens at a lot of tables. Someone, anyone, a player, a DM, someone quiet, reserved, or perhaps someone that just hasn't had their footing found yet. They lean forward, look everyone in the eye, and they say something completely unexpected. Something brave, something vulnerable, something honest. And it lands. But in this moment, they don't react just as players, just as people who have come to a space to perform this ritual of fun, but as people. In that moment, that's not just a game. No, that's empathy. That's empathy in action. And Dungeons and Dragons, I know what you're thinking. Often stereotyped as complicated or nerdy or inaccessible. I can guarantee you it's actually one of the most powerful social tools that we have right now. It teaches empathy, creates space for identity exploration. It offers something increasingly rare in modern life, something that we as communities are craving more and more, and that is a third space. But maybe more importantly to you, I should say, it's a lot easier to play than you think. So today, I want to talk about how D&D works as an empathy machine, an empathy trainer, if you will, and why it functions as this sort of third space, both as a ritualistic act of meeting together once a week, twice a week, even once every year, and how in doing so we also create another third space via a fictitious world where we can explore ourselves and explore our own expression and our own identity. And I think it's important in this video to understand and talk about why that matters culturally right now. So let's demystify this. D&D, at its core, Dungeons & Dragons, is collaborative storytelling. One person, the dungeon master, sets the scene and plays the world. That's sort of what I do in a regular session. Everyone else at the table creates characters and makes decisions as those characters. You say what you want to do. You roll dice to see how well it works. You have, sure, some little modifiers to those numbers based on different things, like what kind of person you are, what your values are. And ultimately, together, a dungeon master and their players create a story. They build it, block by block. That's it. That's the game. No, you don't have to memorize every single rule in this book, the player's handbook. It's an amazing tool, and the wonderful thing about it is a lot of it can be found online for free, or maybe in the patience of a friend who's willing to show you. And no, you don't need to do voices all the time, unless you want to. And no, you don't need to be good at roleplay. Even I, as a dungeon master, find myself stumbling and using the same voice for 6 different NPCs. The classic lurching ogre is, "Hey, what did you do with my gold pieces?" rather than showing some dynamism that I'm sure my players would appreciate. But if you can imagine a character and make decisions for that character that are true to them, you can play D&D. And that's what creates the real magic of the game. Not the mechanics, not even what cool power sword that you can get or different levels of enchantment, but what happens between people. Look, D&D, it forces you to do something that we don't practice enough. Inhabit someone else's perspective. When you play a character, you're constantly asking, what would they do? Why would they do that? What do they want? What do they feel? And over time, that question stops being hypothetical. You start to understand revelations that even aren't your own. Your character's long-lost brother is finally found. And because it's framed as a game, it's still safe, but you can explore the grief, the anger, the identity that would happen in that moment without the real-world consequences, but with real emotional stakes. When you sit in these emotions that might feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable, it helps you defend choices that you wouldn't normally make, to inhabit a character, and in doing so learn how we can inhabit each other, to learn how to be active with our empathy. It builds emotional intelligence in a way that's natural and not forced. When someone at the table has a moment when their character breaks or confesses something or fails, which happens a lot, you're not just watching it, you're responding to it, you're supporting it, and you're reacting in real time. You're not being told to understand someone or to come up with someone that's emotionally intelligent. You're practicing it actively in the moment. Learning how to build that active empathy is priceless. Something that's been in the forefront of the sociological talks in modern day culture is this idea of the third space. These spaces are any place that aren't home and aren't work, places where people can gather, connect, and exist socially. Unfortunately, these spaces are disappearing. Less and less community infrastructure is being pulled to the forefront of our planning, and more online isolation and more transactional relationships are becoming the norm. D&D is such a beautiful way to fill that gap in such a unique, structured but not rigid, social but not performative, consistent but completely low pressure. You show up regularly, you sit at a table, physical or virtual, and you exist together in that third space, that shared world. And because the focus isn't on, you, it's on the game. It lowers that social pressure. You don't have to be on or active in the same way you might have to be at a party. You don't have to fill silence. You don't have to impress anyone. You just play. And in doing so, you build relationships almost accidentally. You find them naturally through the progression and the empathy that we build with these characters in a fantasy world. And it becomes a space where people feel comfortable being themselves or becoming someone completely different. One of the most beautiful things about D&D is how it allows people to express parts of themselves that they wouldn't be able to otherwise. Your character in this game can be braver than you feel. It can be softer than you feel you can show. It can be angrier than you allow yourself to be. Or it can just be closer to who you really are. For some players, D&D is a space to explore identity, gender, personality, values, sexual orientation, anything, you name it. And they're able to do this in a way that feels safe and supported. You can test these boundaries, try things out, see how it feels to exist differently. You can be whoever you want to be. And sometimes those discoveries, those things you find out along the way, they don't stay in the game. They carry over. You learn things about yourself through your character, what matters to you, how you react under pressure, and what kind of person that you want to be. It's not just about escaping or exploring even. It's about reflection. You can be whoever you want to be, both in the forgotten realms of Faerun and right here on Earth. Now look, D&D is having kind of a renaissance right now, and it's not random. In a world that is feeling increasingly disconnected, people are craving community. They're craving ways to express our innate human creativity and to garner authentic interaction with one another. And I know what you're thinking, how might that happen in a fantasy game? Well, it's really quite simple. D&D is able to offer this because it blends storytelling with social connection. It values one's imagination over the performance of it. It creates more through collaboration, and not only more, but it creates meaning through collaboration. And it's also more visible than ever, with people joining up and trying to play the game all on their own or with friends every day. You know, streamers and YouTubers and live play TTRPG like Critical Role or Dimension 20 or Dungeon Dudes. It's helped dismantle this idea that it's inaccessible or it's niche or it's only for a certain brand of people. So now we're going to turn to the Real Ones podcast with John Bernthal, where Deborah Ann Wall was the guest, a noted member of the D&D community. She's also a great actress and was his co-star in Daredevil. But importantly, this is a moment where it really is proven that anyone can play D&D. It's not just for certain types of people or anyone in particular. It truly is for any and everyone. And this little charrette she takes them on is great.
Campaigns and
I don't know what Dungeons and Dragons, like I don't, it's like a game, but like you imagine you're like in the game, right?
yeah, kind of. I mean, it's just a collaborative storytelling with some characters.
And you tell the story?
Yeah, I'm a dungeon master, so I've written an arc and created a world, and then players explore it. And I make calls as to like how difficult it is to climb a wall or fight a monster or that kind of thing.
And so if you say this is a real difficult monster to fight, then you've got to come up with a different way of fighting it?
Yeah, or, either it can just be like how hard you hit it and how long the thing goes, but it might be how do you negotiate your way out of it? If you can't actually kill a dragon, but it's going to eat you, how do you tell it not to? So there are other kind of checks that you can do, persuasions and deceptions and intimidations and all. And
then you decide whether you beat the dragon, the person
whether
beat the dragon.
Yeah, there are stats. There's a lot of math involved that can make that happen. But like,
God damn,
you want to play D&D?
I mean, I'll try. I mean, what do you think? I'd be able to do it?
Literally right now.
Sure.
All right. So let's see. You've got a bow strapped to your back. A sword and a dagger at your hilt, right? So you're walking through the woods. It's dark. It's at night. Almost no moonlight is coming through. You hear a crack off in the distance. Something large stepped on a branch. What would you do?
First thing, how far away is the crack?
Give me a perception check. So then you roll dice and we'd see how perceptive you are. Let's say you roll a 13. Okay. And you're pretty perceptive. So you have a +3 to that. That's 16. So I know, 16, that's pretty perceptive. You think it's about 20 feet away.
Okay. It's about 20 feet away. I think I take out my bow first.
Yeah. So you take a bow, you're readied, you're aimed, you're looking.
Right at where the spot's coming, yeah.
Okay. Slowly creeping towards you, suddenly into view, a little bit of eye shine in the darkness. You see an owl bear. This is a 10, 15 foot tall monster. It looks like an owl, but it has the body of a bear. It opens its beak and squawks at you. What do you do?
Have I ever met an owl bear before? Like, are owl bears?
We could do a history check. So this is D&D.
So this is one of the absolute best representations of just how easy it is to play D&D. The reason I chose this one over pop culture references such as Stranger Things or Community the show is just that this is truly someone who loves the community and loves the game and is showing the beauty that it can have to someone unassuming. But also it's a beautiful moment for anyone watching because it shows just how easy it would be for them to play or for them to get involved in something like this. And I really, really love this clip too because it just shows how fun and interesting that first game can be.
I think that there are a lot of bad representations where that aspect of fun and reacting to situations isn't shown. Like in Stranger Things, it's kind of just Mike telling a story, but here we really get the beauty of collaborative storytelling, which is for everyone.
Dungeons & Dragons is not just a game about dragons and dice. It's a space where people learn to understand each other, where they learn to understand themselves, where they can identify and explore that identity safely and with people they can trust. It is a structure, a space that creates real connection in a more and more disconnected world. And the best part about all of this, all you really need to start is a few people and the willingness to imagine something together. When I really think about what I love about D&D, it's not about being able to escape reality, but it's about practicing and learning how to live in our reality better. Play Dungeons & Dragons. Create those third spaces for yourself. My name is Gavin. Thank you for watching. And I hope all of you get the chance to roll some dice, slay some dragons, and find that third space, that community, that self inside you that you've been looking for. Thank you.